were able to close up the lead towards the end. Tell me about the no-quit attitude that this team has.
I mean, we've never given up, but I think it gets old playing from behind consistently, especially against a great team like Boston and what they bring to the table. So, yeah, we don't quit, but we don't ever want to, well, I wouldn't say ever, but we should stop putting ourselves in that position and start playing our type of basketball from the jump.
Rachel Nichols.
Jimmy, if you had to sum up sort of one idea of why you guys lost this game, what would you say?
We didn't play hard enough. I think we didn't do anything that we said that we were going to do. We knew how they were going to attack us. We weren't helping each other. We weren't making that extra pass a lot of the times. We weren't playing basketball the way that we have been to win the games that we have been winning. We understand that. So, you know, there's nothing that coach can say. There's nothing that OG can say. We get it, and we have to be the ones to fix that.
Cooper Moorhead.
60 points in the paint for them. I know you guys are going to look down and break down the film, but where were the breakdowns defensively that have been getting the involved?
We just got to stay in front of our man. Simple as that. I think we put too much on Bam to always be there, and he can't save us every single time. He's great at help defense. He's great on the ball, but he already does enough for us. You can't just get beat and expect for Bam to come and save you every time.
David from La Gazzetta dello Sport, Italy.
Hey, Jimmy, you mentioned Bam. What did you see from him tonight?
He did everything he could to try to will us to this win all game long. Passing the ball, guarding, obviously scoring and rebounding the basketball. We continually need him to play like that, which he will, and we'll bounce back.
Mateo Mayorga. Mateo, go ahead.
Hi, Jimmy. How important has the council of team captain Udonis Haslem been throughout this playoff run, and what advice did he give the guys in the locker room after the loss?
That this is part of basketball. You know, we want to win them all. Sometimes you don't. But all in all, we just had to play harder, play more together, and be more locked in. I'm not going to say that we thought that this was going to be easy, because it's not the case. But we got to put up a lot more fight from the jump, be the nastier team, be the more scrappier team. That's what he said at halftime. That's what he said before the game and after the game. So hopefully we understand that coming in the next time we play.
Anthony Chang.
Hey, Jimmy, 21 assists for you guys. I think a little low just with the way you guys played. Offensively, did you like the looks you guys got, and the 12-44 on threes?
I always like the looks that we have. Like I said earlier, I don't think we made the extra pass a lot of the time. And that's not because anybody on our team is selfish. That's definitely not the case. I just think sometimes we take it upon ourselves to try to get us back in the games. You know, I'm never complaining about anybody's shots, but on the defensive end, I think that's when we definitely didn't help each other. So got to be better on that part.
And last question, Tabitha Portes from Puerto Rico.
Hi, Jimmy. How do you feel to be a leader for this young team in a conference finals and the way the team is playing right now?
I think we're playing well. I think we can play better. I love going to war with these guys, though. I say it time and time again. Now we really see what we're made of. You know, they won a game. You can say that they have the momentum. Now it's up to us to come in and win the next one. We're definitely capable of it. We got a lot to fix, and we got to get back to playing basketball the way we know how.
Jimmy, thanks for your time, sir.
Oh, Jimmy Butler saying that the Heat didn't play hard enough like they did in the first two games. They have a couple of nights to stew over it. It's Wednesday, Game 4 at 8:30. So who benefits more from this? Looking at the Celtics, they had 3 starters play over 40 minutes. Gordon Hayward make his return, play 30 minutes. It would seem like the Celtics, but Karan, who benefits more from these 4 days off?
I don't know who benefits more from the 4 days off, but I know who has the momentum in their favor and they feeling mighty confident, and that's the Boston Celtics. When you look at offensively what they was able to put together and also winning their first game with one of their stars back in Gordon Hayward, that's just a welcome sign. You know, he played, bulk of minutes, and he played extremely well offensively, moving the ball around and sharing it. They had 4 guys, 20-plus points, and also scoring 60 points in the paint. That's a huge plus. That's something that you can sit on and feel really good about until their next game.
Sam, who do you think has the advantage?
I think this helps the Boston Celtics. Having time off, look, Jason Tatum said it. They had a tough 7-game series against defending champions, Toronto Raptors. And then to come out and have those leads the way they did and squander them away, that has sustained. They played a lot better tonight, won a huge game. But Gordon Hayward is going to be an integral part of this team going forward. You saw how they looked. You saw the things that they were able to do once he's back in the lineup. These days off are going to help him. He gets a day off to rest, and then he has 2 more days to work on his conditioning and time and his touch. So these days off are definitely going to help the Celtics because Gordon Hayward needs the extra work.
Certainly, those guys get more days off than us right now. Fellas, how about that? He's Caron Butler. That's Sam Mitchell.
Man, we don't need
as much as 20 and get the win by 11. Chris Miles here on Playoff Central Live, and I'm joined by my friends Sam Mitchell and Caron Butler. We've talked about this in the previous 2 games of this series. The Boston Celtics building a huge lead. Miami coming back. This time around, though, Sam, it was Boston that was able to hold on for the victory. What was the difference?
Well, look, they've been building the lead, Chris, in all 3 of these games. But the difference tonight was normally when the Celtics get a lead, they rely on their one-on-one play to extend or hold their lead. Tonight, they almost fell into that same trap against the Boston Celtics when they went to that 2-3 zone. They started playing one-on-one basketball. Brad Stevens got a timeout, put Hayward back in the game, and they started moving the basketball. And if they get the ball from strong to weak with all the athleticism, and now with Hayward back, now you have 4 guys on the floor that can beat people off the dribble and score. This is the way they have to play. And you saw the stat line for Jason Tatum. To me, his most complete game since they've been in the bubble. He stuffed every...
Caron, the Celtics had 4 players score over 20. But let's go with a guy who didn't score more than 20. Gordon Hayward played 30 minutes in his first game back after missing a month with that ankle sprain. How big was he? And we said it earlier, bigger than the box score. I mean, he ended up with just 6 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals, but was really the glue that put this together.
I mean, he was another offensive weapon. We talked about Jaylen Brown. We talk about Jason. I think that's a huge this asset to this ball club, and I think they fed off that momentum having one of their guys back.
Certainly, you saw him laying down on the floor. Looked like he played to exhaustion, and Brad Stevens is already available after Game 2. It took him a while to come out of the locker room, not so much after this Game 3 victory.
Hey, Brad, 31 minutes for Gordon tonight. How did you think he looked, and did you ever expect you'd be able to play him that much coming into tonight?
I didn't expect to play him that much, but it was smart. In some foul trouble at the end of the third, Tyson foul trouble. I thought he looked pretty good, and we have 4 days off, so that's why they didn't say, like, we're just going to monitor him to see how he looks. He asked to come out a couple times. The wind caught up to him a couple times. I thought he did what he's done all year. I mean, he didn't shoot it quite as much, but he is a stabilizing force for our team. He just can make the right play and make a play for somebody else at the right time, and he hit the big 3 as they were making a run. So I think he makes us better, that's for sure.
Question in person, Dan Woodkey.
I think before the series, you kind of joked about the home road thing. How different is the psyche now, 2-0 here, knowing that you're not going to have to play, you're not going to have to I guess, yeah, just how this is obviously.
That's a good question. I haven't even thought about it. I think, as I heard Spo say this a couple days ago, feels like the playoffs. So I don't know that I think about whether or not you're playing in your home arena or your road arena or in neutral site or whatever. It's hard. It's tiring. It's tough. So it's felt like that. I don't know that I think it's felt any harder or any easier. It's just felt like the playoffs.
Brad, how much did Jalen's aggressiveness set the tone for you guys tonight?
Our whole team was aggressive. Our whole team played with the right mentality, and most importantly, responded to, their good runs and tough shots really well, and then push leads out. The run at the end of the first half, was a great one, and in response to when they cut it to 4 or 5 right there, and then even when they got it closer in the second, with the exception of the last minute, I thought we responded. Last couple minutes, I thought we responded pretty well.
Question in person, Gary Washburn.
Yeah, I mean, I told a good majority. I think I told the team this yesterday. I certainly told the staff 2 nights ago. Like, this result didn't really matter to me. It was more about, like, what are we going to show ourselves to be? And I thought that we were a really special group, a really good group. And the first time we were pushed to more emotions that challenged us, we got better, and that's encouraging.
Question in person, Malika Andrews.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're always got that thing in the back of your mind telling you, the negative side of things, but we just chose to focus on the possession tonight, focus on the task at hand. I still thought we were a little sloppy at times late, and so I think we need to continue to be much better in that regard. But, they're tough. They keep coming at you in the three-pointer. And I said this earlier today, a 17-point lead on Miami is like 8. It just doesn't, it's not that big. And so as bad as we feel, I've seen this story over and over with the three-point shot. And we did some good things tonight to answer their runs most of the time.
Question in person, Jeff Zilgett.
What did it take, maybe over the past 48 hours, to get from where you were after game 2 to where you were at the start of game 3 to have this?
Just took a bunch of good people committed to each other. Didn't take any, there's no special talks, no special things, no rah-rah speeches. It's who you have in the locker room and are they committed to each other. And so everybody gets pushed to emotions in sports. That's why I wasn't, I was curious to see what would happen tonight, but I didn't have much doubt. I think this group has some good character.
Question in person, Sam Amick.
Brad, with your closeness with Gordon, the extra layer to his decision to win you guys tonight, is not be there for the birth of his poor child when they come. What does that mean in terms of the sacrifice?
Because he said that?
He told Rachel that.
No, she didn't tell me.
Okay.
So if he wants to go back for the birth of his child, that takes priority. That's his decision, and it's, I want to leave it at that. That's his decision.
Brad, Dragic obviously had a ton of success in the first couple of games. Can you just kind of talk about the decision to have Marcus on him a little more tonight, and he did help on that?
Well, we had to change some of our pick and roll coverages. It still didn't help much on some of the Bam rolls. We still got to be a lot better on Bam, but Marcus's ball pressure on Dragic is obviously something that we need to continue to look at. Dragic is a great player, and he's a guy that's playing the best I've ever seen him play. So, we'll just continue to mix up matchups and do our best, but everybody's got to guard hard. Marcus did a good job early, And even like the Dragic bucket on Grant, I thought was really hard. He hit his chest, and Grant was straight up, and Dragic threw it in, but he does that.
Rebecca Arlo.
Coach, yeah, you've stressed throughout these entire playoffs that solid defense leads to transition points on the other end of the floor, and we definitely saw that tonight. I mean, how would you evaluate that? And then in addition, also just the points in the paint, the way that you guys attack the basket, was that by design in some ways to send a message with your aggressiveness?
Yeah, we wanted to really attack. If we're putting it on the floor, we want to get to the rim and make a play for ourselves or others. And then if we're not pressuring the ball defensively, if we're waiting to be attacked, we stink. So might as well pressure and see if we can be good.
All right, we'll wrap it up right there.
Brad Stevens bringing us inside of his mind. The next game won't be until Wednesday, so it was interesting to see 3 starters play over 40 minutes. But after game 2, there was the blow up in the locker room, the loud noise, the argument, whatever you want to call it. But you heard Brad Stevens say there wasn't anything in particular that the guys were arguing about, and he didn't say anything in particular. Sam, what did you think of that?
Well, as long as the argument and the frustration is about how they played as a team and how they let 2 games get away, that's fine. When a player comes in and he dresses down the team, as long as he don't start calling out individual players and specific things that happen during the game, it's fine. But when you come in this general context and you're just going off on how you're playing as a team, and Brad Stevens was right. He understood that they needed that and that he knew his team's character and he knew they were going to come out and play well tonight. Didn't necessarily guarantee them a win because Miami had a lot to do with that. But when you watch this Celtics team, defensively, offensively, they had control of this game. There was moments where they almost let it slip away. But at the end of the day, if they move the ball from strong to weak, play defense like they played tonight, and Gordon Hayward with 4 days off, because he was a huge impact, having a veteran player at 6'8" with all his skill set, they are back in this basketball tournament. They are back in this series. And the Miami Heat understands that because Gordon Hayward is only going to get better as he plays more minutes.
Karan, what did you make of the Celtics' body language and how they communicated with each other? Because it seemed to be on the up and up.
Well, I felt like the urgency was there. And, to Coach Mitchell's point, I felt like the specific call to action was there as well. Yeah, you have emotions, you have blow-ups, but did you get better from it? Are you more productive from it? And I felt like the guys they was unified. They came out defensively. They was engaged because offensively you can't control how the ball bounced, but offensively and defensively they was just clicking on both cylinders. You saw 4 guys, 20+ points, 60 points in the paint, and specifically the leadership of Jason Tatum was just across the boards. I felt like this was his best all-around basketball game, and he knows it. And it was at a crucial point because if they did not get this game 3. I mean, we'll be talking about them possibly getting swept by the Miami Heat, and they did a remarkable job at taking away some of the strengths of the Miami Heat ball club.
Yeah, as we know, no team has ever come back from 3-0 in the NBA postseason. Eric Spoelstra made an interesting move towards the end of the game with the Miami Heat coming back. He sat Jimmy Butler late in the 4th quarter. Let's hear from Coach Spo and see what happened with that situation.
Start off with Irwin.